Now, you lose.
Today, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing, unusual, and misunderstood entries in the Scream franchise, Scream 3. While it may be the most comedic and unconventional chapter in the original trilogy, Scream 3 hides a treasure trove of strange, surprising, and rarely discussed facts that even many die-hard fans have never heard. So here are 20 weird and surprising facts about Scream 3. Fact 1.
Did I come here to fight with you, Dewey? Cotton's killer left a picture.
Courtney Cox's unique bangs in Scream 3 became one of the most memorable visual elements in the film, but not in the way the actress expected. The hairstyle, now iconic among fans, wasn't originally intended to look the way it did on screen. According to Cox, the stylist designed the bangs as a short and trendy approach, but when cameras rolled, they appeared much shorter and more dramatic than planned. Because filming was fast-paced, Cox had little time to adjust the style once it appeared on camera. She later said the bangs became a character of their own, often drawing reactions online and becoming a frequent topic in interviews. Despite the playful jokes made about the hairstyle, it has become oddly beloved by fans who view it as part of Scream 3's quirky charm. Cox took the attention in good humor, acknowledging that the bold bangs helped make Gale Weathers unforgettable in the third film. Decades later, the hairstyle remains one of the most recognizable elements from Scream 3 and is often referenced in memes, fan art, and nostalgic discussions. Fact 2.
We are not in any danger, says Candy, page 15.
One of the most unusual production strategies used during Scream 3 was the creation of multiple fake scripts and alternate endings. This practice wasn't new to the franchise. Scream 2 famously dealt with script leaks, but the approach for Scream 3 was taken to a whole new level. Because the internet was growing rapidly and spoilers could spread instantly, the studio printed several different script variations containing alternate killer identities, different order of deaths, and even scenes that were designed to mislead the cast. Actors often received partial script pages, and in some cases, scenes were rewritten on the morning of filming. Patrick Dempsey, who plays Detective Kincaid, admitted he didn't know who the killer was until the final week of shooting. Other cast members described the experience as confusing but strangely exciting because they were discovering the story in real time. Some deleted scenes reveal hints of the alternate endings, including versions where additional characters survived, died earlier, or were involved in Roman's scheme. Angelina's original role as a second killer also appears in some of the alternate scripts. Wes Craven supported the secrecy because he wanted celebrity cameos and jokes to remain surprises. Although the approach complicated filming, it successfully prevented major leaks and kept fans guessing until release day. Fact 3.
Oh my God, Sidney Prescott!
One of the biggest surprises buried in Scream 3's early development is that the character Angelina Tyler, the actress cast as Sidney in the fictional film Stab 3, was originally planned to be one of the killers. In Kevin Williamson's initial concept, Angelina wasn't just a nervous newcomer, she was secretly Roman's accomplice. Her storyline originally involved her winning the role in Stab 3 through suspicious methods and her obsession with becoming famous at any cost. Early drafts hinted heavily that she had been manipulated into joining the killing spree, mirroring the dynamics seen in Scream, Billy Stu, and Scream 2, Mickey, Mrs. Loomis. Several clues exist in the final film that point to this abandoned twist, including her mysterious appearances, strange behavior, and a few scenes that feel like remnants of the two-killer structure. However, after the major script rewrite following real-world concerns, the studio demanded a simpler, single-killer structure to reduce confusion and intensity. As a result, Angelina's villain arc was removed, though evidence of it lingers in her dialogue and blocking. To this day, fans debate whether Angelina surviving certain moments makes more sense in the context of her being an accomplice. Her character remains one of the most interesting what-if elements in Scream 3, and a symbol of how drastically the original vision changed before filming. Fact 4.
Actually, we're here to see Sidney.
No, Sidney's here.
The entire third-act finale of Scream 3 was filmed in a real Hollywood mansion known for decades of reported paranormal activity. This estate, often used in films such as Halloween H20 and various classic thrillers, had long been rumored to have unusual cold spots, flickering lights, and mysterious noises that crew members would occasionally mention during shoots. While working on Scream 3, several crew members recalled experiencing odd occurrences. Lights would suddenly dim or flicker even when equipment was functioning normally. Some staff reported hearing footsteps or voices in hallways that were supposedly empty. Wes Craven himself mentioned that the house had a heavy atmosphere that created a natural feeling of suspense on set. The eerie environment added an unplanned layer of tension to the mansion scenes. Cast members noticed the unusual ambiance and later described it as perfect for a horror movie. Even though no official supernatural claims were confirmed, the behind-the-scenes stories added to the filming experience and eventually became part of the movie's folklore. The mansion's unsettling history unintentionally enhanced the film's tone and provided a fitting backdrop for the intense final showdown with Roman. Fact 5. Due to heightened concerns about movie violence in 1999 and 2000, the studio specifically requested that Ghostface appear less brutal and far less physically intense than in previous films. This directive influenced everything from kill scenes to chase sequences. The stunt team was instructed to tone down the speed and aggression of Ghostface movements. Instead of intense physical attacks, there was more comedic stumbling, slipping, and clumsy behavior. Wes Craven later said the studio leaned heavily into the idea of Ghostface being chaotic but not terrifying, which contrasted sharply with the more intense portrayals in the earlier films. Even the knife sound effects were softened, and several originally scripted kills were reworked to avoid strong impact visuals. This is why many deaths in Scream 3 happen off-screen or involve less graphic detail. Additionally, filmmakers were asked to reduce the chase intensity so younger audiences wouldn't mimic dangerous behaviors. This explains why the mansion finale feels more dialogue-driven, and why some chases end quickly or comedically. Though Wes Craven initially resisted this direction, he eventually found ways to incorporate humor without completely losing the tension. While the toned-down Ghostface has been debated among fans, it remains one of the most distinctive elements of Scream 3's identity. Fact 6. One of the most unexpected moments in Scream 3 is the cameo featuring Jay and Silent Bob, the comedy duo played by Jason Mewes and director Kevin Smith. Their appearance might seem random, but it happened thanks to Kevin Smith's genuine enthusiasm for the Scream franchise and his personal friendship with director Wes Craven. Smith had been vocal about his admiration for Scream's clever writing and horror style. When the production team reached out to Smith with an invitation to appear in the third film, he immediately agreed. The cameo was filmed quickly on the studio backlot, and the duo improvised several lines. The cameo also serves as a meta-joke referencing the interconnectedness of Hollywood during the era and pokes fun at the Wes Craven Presence branding that appeared across multiple genres. Some international markets even promoted the cameo to attract fans of Smith's films. Though brief, the cameo highlights the playful spirit of Scream 3 and remains one of the film's most memorable surprises. It also showcases the franchise's willingness to break traditional horror rules and embrace unexpected humor. Fact 7.
Mark Kincaid, LAPD.
Hello.
It's quite an impressive resume.
Thank you.
Patrick Dempsey's role as Detective Mark Kincaid was cast incredibly late, reportedly just 3 days before filming. Because of the script uncertainty and constant rewrites, the character wasn't finalized until the last moment. Dempsey arrived on set with minimal preparation and was initially given only a vague outline of his character. He didn't know his character's motives, whether he might be a suspect, or even his full backstory. In interviews, Dempsey said he discovered many details along with the audience because the script kept changing. This spontaneous approach surprisingly worked well. Kincaid's mysterious, slightly distant demeanor fits perfectly with his uncertain role in the narrative. Fans sometimes interpret his unusual dialogue or vague expressions as purposeful character choices, when in reality, many of them resulted from him working with incomplete scripts. Dempsey later expressed gratitude for the experience and enjoyed working with the cast, eventually becoming a fan-favorite supporting character within the franchise. Fact 8. The scene featuring Jenny McCarthy as Sarah Darling required an unusual number of Ghostface masks due to lighting difficulties and costume adjustments. The production team originally planned to use the classic black and white mask, but reflections and shadows in the glass room set caused visibility problems. To solve this, 3 different variations of the Ghostface mask were introduced, each designed to react differently to lighting. One version had a slightly matte finish to reduce glare, another had subtle color adjustments, and a third featured additional detailing around the eyes to improve depth during close-up shots. These adjustments ensured that Ghostface remained visually striking and avoided blending into the background of the reflective. Jenny McCarthy's reactions were filmed multiple times using different masks, adding a surprising level of complexity to what initially seemed like a straightforward scene. This unconventional approach to mask design shows how much effort went into maintaining Ghostface's iconic presence, even in scenes with technical challenges. Fact 9.
Is this what he
One of Scream 3's most memorable additions is the multi-voice changer that allows Ghostface to mimic anyone's voice. This technology was created to complicate the mystery and increase suspense since the killer could imitate friends, coworkers, and even Sidney's family. However, the original concept for the device was far more elaborate. Early drafts included a version capable of storing dozens of voices, not just a few key characters. Some versions even mimicked background noises or environmental sounds. Because the studio wanted to avoid overly complex technical explanations, many features were removed. The final version still delivered a major twist to the franchise. The voice changer became an iconic prop, adding psychological tension and making Roman's scheme more unpredictable. Even though some abandoned features never appeared on screen, the device remains one of the most unique and innovative tools used by Ghostface. Fact 10.
Cameo as himself in the film Stab 3, Return to Woodsboro.
One of the most creatively surprising aspects of Scream 3 is the recreation of iconic Woodsboro locations on the Stab 3 movie set. The production team meticulously rebuilt Sidney's house, the hallway from the first film, and other key spots, all designed to resemble the original Scream sets as closely as possible. This allowed the film to create nostalgic callbacks and moments where characters walked through familiar locations, blurring the line between fiction and reality. These recreated sets were not simple duplicates. They included subtle distortions and exaggerated features to emphasize the Hollywood illusion angle. For example, Sidney's house was slightly larger and brighter to match the exaggerated atmosphere of Stab 3, while still being recognizable to fans of the original film. Gale's newsroom was also mirrored on the studio set with playful nods to real production details. The attention to detail in these reconstructed sets added a unique layer of commentary on sequels and remakes, turning the movie into a self-aware reflection of Hollywood itself. Many fans consider these scenes some of the most clever elements in the film. Fact 11.
It was so pretty.
One of Roman's most important scenes, his video message played after his apparent death, was filmed very early in production and kept extremely secret. Only a handful of people were allowed in the room when the scene was shot. Wes Craven wanted to maintain the illusion that Roman had been eliminated from the story. Crew members who weren't required to be present during filming were asked to step out, and the footage was heavily protected. Even some cast members didn't realize the scene existed until they watched the film at the premiere. Keeping Roman's true role concealed was a priority for Craven, and this early filming strategy helped maintain mystery on and off set. Fact 12.
Prescott. This is Sidney Prescott's mother.
Early versions of the script included a deeper exploration of Sidney's mother, Maureen Prescott, delving further into her past in Hollywood and her connection to the other characters. There were planned flashback sequences and additional scenes involving photographs, journals, and conversations about Maureen's struggles while working in the film industry. These scenes would have added emotional depth and expanded on the theme of legacy, trauma, and exploitation. However, the studio requested that several of these elements be removed to streamline the plot and avoid darker themes that might overshadow the main mystery. Despite the removal, hints of this storyline remain, including references to Maureen's experiences and how they shaped Sidney's life. The existing scenes help connect the characters, but stop short of the more detailed arc originally intended. Fans remain curious about this missing storyline and how it might have influenced the overall narrative. Fact 13. While Scream 3 is filled with humor, suspense, and mystery, it also includes a subtle message about overcoming fear and finding peace. Wes Craven intentionally added these themes as a way to close the trilogy on a hopeful note. Sidney's final scene, where she leaves her front door open rather than locked, symbolizes her choice to move forward rather than live in fear. Craven wanted this conclusion to reflect personal empowerment and healing after trauma. This thoughtful ending highlights the deeper emotional themes of the franchise and offers a meaningful conclusion to Sidney's journey. Fact 14.
The five stand trapped.
He's rewriting the movie.
Scream 3 was originally supposed to be much darker and more violent, but a major real-world event dramatically changed the entire direction of the movie, the aftermath of the 1999 Columbine tragedy. Hollywood studios became extremely cautious about violence in films, particularly those targeting young audiences. As a result, Dimension Films ordered a massive rewrite of the originally planned script, pushing the tone toward humor and reducing on-screen violence. The earliest drafts written by series creator Kevin Williamson featured a group of teenagers who were involved in elaborate pranks and a Ghostface killer using more elaborate traps. These elements were immediately removed. The setting changed, the tone shifted, and the plot was restructured to focus on a Hollywood satire theme. Even Ghostface's motives and identity were changed, and several deaths were toned down or reworked entirely. Screenwriter Aaron Kruger was brought in to rewrite large sections with gentler comedic elements and meta-Hollywood jokes. This explains why Scream 3 feels noticeably lighter and more self-parody driven than the first two films. Wes Craven later revealed that the creative team had no choice but to adapt to the climate of the time. While fans remain divided on this tonal shift, the rewrite is one of the most unusual examples of real-world events directly reshaping a major horror sequel. Fact 15.
It's as if you don't exist.
Neve Campbell, who plays Sidney Prescott, had other commitments during production, giving the filmmakers a very limited time window to shoot her scenes. She was only available for approximately 20 days, which significantly impacted the film's structure and tone. As a result, large portions of Scream 3 focus on the ensemble cast and the Hollywood satire storyline, rather than Sidney herself. Several originally planned sequences featuring Sidney were either removed or rewritten to reduce her screen time. In the early drafts, Sidney had a much more active role in investigating the murders and connecting clues to her past. Because Campbell couldn't be on set for extended periods, the story shifted to emphasize Gale, Dewey, and the Stab 3 cast more prominently. Some scenes were filmed out of order or restructured entirely to accommodate her schedule. Her reduced presence also contributed to the film leaning more heavily on comedy and side plots. Interestingly, Sidney's emotional journey still stands out despite the reduced screen time. Her scenes are among the most impactful in the film, including the powerful moments at the mansion and the eerie sequences involving her mother's legacy. Fact 16. During filming, a real earthquake occurred in California, briefly shaking the set and surprising the cast and crew. Although minor, the quake was strong enough to interrupt shooting and cause a temporary evacuation so safety checks could be completed. Crew members later recalled feeling the floor vibrate and props rattling on the rebuilt Woodsboro sets. Because some scenes were designed to appear unsettling or intense, the sudden jolt added an unplanned layer of tension to the experience. Fortunately, no one was injured and the production remained on schedule. This real-life moment has since become a small but memorable piece of Scream 3 trivia, emphasizing the unpredictable nature of filming on active studio lots in California. Fact 17.
Zombies and aliens.
You know what you look like without makeup.
There is a small but meaningful homage in Scream 3 to Wes Craven's earlier horror career. The hallway sequence featuring movie set shadows and flickering lights was designed to evoke the mood of Craven's classic psychological horror films from the 1970s and 1980s. The cinematography team used specific lighting angles, shadow patterns, and camera movements inspired by films like The Hills Have Eyes and The People Under the Stairs. Craven enjoyed adding subtle references to his past work and found ways to weave them into the meta-narrative of Scream 3. Although the tribute is subtle, it shows Craven's fondness for blending old-school atmosphere with modern horror storytelling. This behind-the-scenes decision highlights the director's personal influence and creative passion. Fact 18.
We have one Gale Weathers here, we don't need two.
The actors portraying the Stab 3 cast had a unique challenge. They had to study the original Scream characters and then perform slightly exaggerated or intentionally inaccurate versions. This required them to mimic mannerisms and delivery while also adding a satirical twist. To prepare, the cast watched scenes from Scream and Scream 2 with the goal of capturing the essence of characters like Sidney, Gale, and Dewey. However, the director encouraged them not to be too accurate, joking that Hollywood biopics often exaggerate or misinterpret real people. This resulted in playful, slightly offbeat interpretations that helped reinforce the film's commentary on Hollywood storytelling. Jennifer Jolie's exaggerated Gale Weathers performance is a standout example, blending humorous imitation with clever meta-commentary. The challenge pushed the actors to balance satire with respect for the original characters, contributing to the film's unique tone. Fact 19.
I know you do.
Scream 3 features several celebrity appearances, but early drafts included even more cameo ideas, ranging from musicians to comedians to well-known actors who enjoyed the genre. Some potential cameos were removed due to scheduling conflicts or concerns that too many appearances might distract from the mystery. While not all cameo ideas made it into the final film, the presence of characters like Jay and Silent Bob reflects the playful and meta nature of the movie. These cameos highlight how the film embraced Hollywood satire and provided fun surprises for viewers. Fact 20. The opening scenes of Scream films are known for being iconic, and Scream 3 initially had multiple versions planned. Some involved different characters, settings, or twists. One version even featured a group of actors rehearsing lines on the Stab 3 set before being attacked. After reviewing various concepts, the production team settled on the Cotton Weary storyline, which offered emotional impact and continuity from the previous films. However, the existence of multiple unused versions showcases the filmmakers' creative experimentation during early planning stages. And there you have it, 20 weird and surprising facts about Scream 3. Whether you're a longtime fan or discovering these facts for the first time, Scream 3 remains a uniquely intriguing chapter in the franchise. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you in the next video.